Last year, my business partner and I decided to do something a little different for our team at our annual Christmas party. We typically will put together some sort of video for the team as kind of a fun reward at the end of the year. But last year, we decided that we would go out and secretly meet with our team members' parents. Yes, you heard me right. I know that sounds weird. We got a hold of 10 sets of parents for our team members, and we were able to keep everything a secret, and we actually drove out to their homes all across the state and met with them. We drove over 500 miles to accomplish this. It took us a number of days to do, but when we got to their homes, we set up a camera and we asked them about their son, their daughter. We asked about the experiences that made them who they are today. We asked a few embarrassing questions as well to see if we could get answers, and it was kind of amazing some of the revealing answers these parents gave us. We put all of this together in a video, and then at our party we came out and we showed it to our team members. They were very surprised and a little scared at first, but the laughter and the joy that this brought to our team was incredible. Everyone liked it, everyone enjoyed it, no one was too weirded out. We picked the right team members, we knew their parents would be more than willing to do this, and it was such an incredible experience. So why did we do that? We believe that at a company, understanding and appreciation is what makes for a great company culture. And so to better understand our team members, we wanted to meet with their parents, and we had such a fun time doing so. Now, I know that's a crazy thing to do, but that's just one of the many wonderful things that I've been blessed to be able to do as the owner of a technology business here in Iowa. Building a great team and being able to spend time with them, being able to accomplish great projects together has been just an incredible part of my career and my life. And I can't be more thankful for my team here at Blue Compass and everything we've been able to accomplish. At Blue Compass, we are a digital marketing company, and we spend each and every day getting more qualified users to come to our clients' websites and then getting them to convert on those sites. In other words, getting them to perform the actions that our clients want them to take. And so we do that through web design, web development. We have a full team of designers and developers, and then also digital marketers. So we spend a lot of time on search engine optimization, on making websites appear higher and get more exposure on Google. We do a lot of social media marketing, online ads, content marketing, blog writing, and things like that. So it's a wonderful, wonderful business, and we are very thankful for the state of Iowa and all the support we've gotten here. Iowa is a really incredible place. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But we are very thankful to be here in this state. This is a great place for those who love technology and are wanting to thrive in technology. We work with some great clients. We work with some Fortune 500 companies. We work with small family businesses, nonprofits, and just about everything in between. We believe in really, really fun, great company culture, and we have a dog-friendly office. We'll play pranks on each other, jump out and scare each other. There's a lot of fun in the office, but when it comes down to it, we want to have a great culture where people can enjoy what they work on and create wonderful new things in technology and marketing for our clients. So I am very happy to be able to say that I work at a job that I really love. And that's something that we should all really strive for. So some people look at Blue Compass and think, wow, what an amazing company. How could anyone ever do something like that? But you can create a business just like this, maybe even bigger and better and more successful than this business. Sometimes we don't talk a lot about what it takes to create a business or build a business. And whether you want to work for a company in technology or if you want to create your own tech business, you can do either one of those if you stick to it, if you continue to learn. And again, Iowa is a wonderful place to build a tech business. So I graduated from college a few years ago, and when I graduated, I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do, but I ended up going into graphic design, and I worked on videos, animations, websites. And in 2007, I really decided I wanted something more and really wanted to give people a clear direction when it came to their digital presence, their website, their social media. And so we ended up starting a company called Blue Compass. And I did this with my business partner, Carrie Coppola. So we were really young at the time. I was 25 when I got the idea to do this. And we ended up creating this crazy company that slowly grew little by little. And we've had the opportunity over the years to move into different offices, to work with these great clients. And it's been a difficult process, but a really rewarding one. So now we have 30 team members, and we're happy to serve clients in Iowa, but also all over the country. And again, whether you want to work for a business that might be in technology or whether you're interested in starting your own business someday, you can have this as well. This is something you can accomplish. And today I'm going to share with you 6 powerful ways you can launch a strong career in technology in Iowa. And if you don't want to go into the tech field, that's fine. I think these will be applicable for most any career you're interested in. And so the first way is to know your industry. So my wife also works in the tech industry, and one of the brands she's worked with lately is called Fandom. And Fandom is a huge online property. The Fandom website is one of the most visited websites in the world, and it's all about geek culture. My wife knows a bit about this, but I'm kind of the resident expert at home when it comes to geek culture. So she'll come to me occasionally with questions about Star Wars characters, something about Marvel, Legend of Zelda, whatever it might be. And I'm able to help her out because of my passion for these geeky franchises. And we all have those type of things that we're really passionate about, those hobbies like supporting teams, or whether it's a geeky property or movie franchise, a TV show. We all have those things we're really passionate about and we know a lot about. And so the industry that you're interested in going into should be the exact same for you. You should be incredibly knowledgeable about that industry as much as possible. Learn as much as you can about the industry you're going into for your career. And so if you're in Iowa and you're interested in app development or coding, if you're interested in digital marketing, if you're interested in video games, learn more about those industries and explore as much as you can about it. Become knowledgeable about the companies that do those things and about the leaders and the people who are involved in those as well. It's incredibly important for you to learn as much as you can about your industry. That's essential for anyone who really wants to succeed and get ahead as they move forward into their career. Number 2 is to continually grow your expertise. So this is something I didn't do extremely well when I got out of high school and college. So through my 20s, I didn't spend a lot of time learning. But I really think there's 2 ways that we can learn. And the first one is from mentors, and the second one is from mistakes. Unfortunately, I learned more from mistakes than I did mentors throughout my 20s. So learning from a mentor would be speaking with someone who's done it already, speaking to someone wise, reading a book, listening to a good podcast about, the industry that you wanted to get into, or from someone with wisdom. If someone can write a book and talk about, their 30 years of experience in the technology industry, and then I can read that in a period of just like 3 or 4 hours and get all that knowledge they got in 30 years, or at least a lot of it, that's an incredible thing. So learn from mentors. Don't learn from mistakes unless you have to. And of course, we all make mistakes, and mistakes can be a good way to learn as well. But learning from a mentor is certainly less painful. One of the things that I've learned professionally is what you think is what you become. Whatever's in your mind influences your actions, your attitude. And so whatever you watch, whatever you see, whatever you listen to has a deep impact on you. And so oftentimes I'll tell people, put aside the Netflix and get a great book, or get a podcast, or watch a video on YouTube about a subject you're truly interested in that can help you get ahead of your competition and have success. Spend time learning and reading and getting better about what you're passionate about. If you do that, you will be so far ahead of the competition. Most Americans read an average of 1 book a year. Imagine if you got a dozen good books that actually taught you something that made you better, that helped you think more positive, that gave you more direction in your life, and you consume those every year. Think how much farther ahead of the competition you'll be, especially after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So continue to grow your skills. And the good thing is, after school, when you do this, you don't have to necessarily focus on the subjects that aren't your favorite. You can focus on the ones you're passionate on. Number 3 is don't be afraid to ask. So I had a young woman contact me a while ago, and she was very interested in getting into copywriting in the agency world. She wanted to be a copywriter. She wanted to write blog articles. She wanted to be able to use her skills to tell stories, and she wanted to know if there was an opportunity here for us. So I was happy to meet with her, and we talked about some opportunities. And while we didn't have a position for a copywriter open at Blue Compass at the time, I did know someone who had a potential opening, and I was able to connect them, and I was happy to do that. And so one of the things that oftentimes holds us back from getting what we want in life is simply not asking. And this is one of the great things about Iowa. Iowans are notoriously nice. Reach out to someone in the technology industry in Iowa. It could be a CEO, it could be a president, it could be a manager, or someone that works at the company that you're interested in learning more about, and simply ask them questions. You can reach out to them via email, via social media. You can try giving them a call. But if you ask someone for some help, for some guidance, ask them for a tour, or if you can job shadow, 9 times out of 10, you'll probably get a yes. And whenever someone reaches out to me, whether it's a student or a younger person and they're looking for some guidance, or they're interested in Blue Compass, I will always say yes. I always allow them to come in, or I always answer their question. I'll have a phone call with them. And I'm not unique in that. Iowans are really nice. And I think most people who are in technology jobs and just any sort of jobs around Iowa recognize that they too were a student once, and most of them are willing and happy and able to lend a helping hand. But you got to ask for it. It won't just happen. Take the initiative. Ask for it. Another great way to reach out and connect with people is simply through social media. And one of the things that I'd encourage you to do is identify the companies you want to work at, or some good tech companies that you respect or that you're interested in, and simply follow them on your social media. It's great because you'll consume some of their content, you'll get exposed to some of that industry, but they will probably like it too because you're following them, and you'd be surprised how many people on their team will probably actually notice that. And in addition to that, Find owners of companies who have done a good job. Find CEOs or presidents and follow them as well. And if you're really interested in learning more from them, if having them be a mentor or becoming part of their company, comment on their posts every now and again or like them. It's amazing how often people like that will notice when you engage with them, and then you'll start to become familiar with them. So don't hesitate to connect with people on social media. Social media isn't just for fun and entertainment, it's for connections, and it can be a great tool in improving your career. This is a message I received over LinkedIn from someone who was interested in getting a little guidance from me, and I was more than happy to connect with them and help answer questions. Don't hesitate to reach out to people. And of course, that leads us to the ups and downs of social media. And you've probably heard this before, but we all need to be careful about what we post on our social media, especially when you're young and especially when you're looking for your first few jobs. You are only as professional as your last social media post. It doesn't matter the platform. It doesn't matter where it is. What you post can be found, and yes, it is there forever. You can't hide it. So employers will look. When we are interviewing someone, we go to their social media, we check out what type of person this is. And we want someone who is generally positive, is generally a good person, looks like they care about their industry. And of course, there's no perfect people, and everyone has their ups and downs. Everyone has different opinions, and that's fine. But we want people who are generally positive and represent themselves well online. And your future employers do as well. And of course, if you own a business or a business in the future, your clients will also want you to generally be pretty professional and positive on your social feed as well. So always be careful what you post. Number 4 is to be yourself, but be the best version of yourself. So years ago, my business partner was interviewing a potential new designer. And he was sitting in the interview with her, and things were going pretty well, and she showed him her portfolio of work. And so he got to see some of the designs she had done. And he came to me later and he brought the portfolio and he said, "Hey, this went really well. I think this could be a good potential hire." And I started looking through some of her work, and one of them actually looked familiar to me, and I took a closer look. And it was a holiday card that she had designed for someone. It was an animated card that this company had sent out to their clients. And the reason it looked so familiar to me was because I had created it. I had created it a couple years ago for this client. And somehow she had gotten a hold of it and she used it as her own work. So as you might imagine, she did not get the job. But that's just an example of someone who unfortunately didn't represent herself authentically. And as you move forward and have interviews in the future, and as you connect with people, whether you go to college, whatever you're doing as you move forward professionally, always be yourself, represent yourself authentically, but be the best version of yourself, of course. Sometimes it sounds a little cheesy, but it can be really difficult. One of the ways this becomes most applicable is when you have a job interview. There's a few important things for you to do when you do have a job interview, or really when you connect with anyone professionally. And so the first one is simply have good eye contact with them. It sounds simple, but it makes a huge difference when you actually look someone in the eye, when you smile and connect with them personally when you talk. It makes a huge difference. Also, know about the organization before you interview or before you talk with someone from that organization you're interested in. Do your homework. Don't ever go into it blind. When someone comes to Blue Compass for an interview, one of the questions I always ask is, what do you know about Blue Compass? And most of the time people know a few things about it at least, but sometimes I can tell someone hasn't really done their homework. And I want to hire people who love our company and are really truly interested in working here. So do your homework about both the industry and the company before you go into it. Of course, it's a time in which most people are nervous, but remember, the person on the other side of the table or on the other side of the Zoom call wants you to succeed. They wouldn't interview you if they weren't hoping that you would be the right candidate. So whether it's for a small or a big job, they want you to succeed. So take heart in that, and again, be yourself in the interview. Don't be someone you're not. I connected with someone recently, and while they were talking with me, it was really evident that they were trying to impress me, that they were kind of being robotic, reciting some good lines and things like that. And I can understand that mentality, but you should still be yourself. One of the things that younger people often ask us is, what type of people do we hire here? Do they have to have a degree? Do they have to have experience, etc.? So we hire people with a lot of experience sometimes who are more senior, and we hire people who are quite a bit younger as well. And we also hire interns. Interns really can have very little background at all. What we're really looking for when it comes to interns is someone who has a great work ethic and is really, really anxious to learn and who looks like they have great potential. And any company that's looking to hire an intern looks for those things. And when it comes to a team member, having a 4-year degree or more is fantastic. A 2-year degree is just fine too for us personally. We've even hired people who don't have a college degree. And for us, while education is important, what we're really looking for is great experience and then great character and work ethic. So personally for us as a small business in tech, we really want people who are hard workers, who are scrappy, who aren't afraid to roll up their sleeves, who are team players, who are positives. The skills can be taught on the job in some cases, but the person's personality and values generally don't change. Number 5 is be positive. Sounds simple. This one's so important. Be positive. So a few months ago, we were talking with a company that was interested in a huge new website. And so this was a big corporation, and they talked to us about it, and they asked us to give them a proposal for what we would do. Now, we put one together, and we also needed to put a big presentation together and appear before them. So this was between us and 4 other organizations. Now, we've spent a lot of time and energy on this. We spent many, many hours, days, and weeks putting together this proposal and the presentation. And when the day came for the presentation, we got up. This was a Zoom call, so we were in front of numerous people, and there's about 4 of us presenting on our team. And we ran through everything we were going to do for them. We introduced them to Blue Compass, and we showed them all the things we could bring to the table. And after we were done, they contacted us and they said, "Great job, you made it to the final round. It's between you and this other company." This other company was a massive company in a huge city, and they had hundreds of team members, whereas we have 30. And so we were excited and we went through all the motions, but in the end, unfortunately, the other company was chosen. And they told us, you have everything we need, but we just feel like we need a much, much bigger team to handle this project. And so for us, that was disheartening because we knew we could handle this project. And we've done bigger projects than this before, but it was one of the defeats in life that you have to live with. And so all of us in life have failures like that, have defeats like that. But you know what I saw our team do? I saw our team rebound really positively. I heard people saying, at least we have this full deck of slides that we can use for our next presentation. And we had a really good presentation put together so that we could use that, on another client in the future. We had some great impressions that we had made with that client, and they seemed very impressed, and we thought, if someone ever leaves that company and goes to another, perhaps they'll contact us, or maybe there'll be another opportunity down the road if it doesn't work out with this vendor they're working in. I love hearing those positive spins when something negative happens, and that is so important for you. As you move forward in school and your career, be positive. There's so much negativity out there. Being positive can be really difficult, but being positive isn't something that's ignorant, it's just focusing on the good. And I believe that you can do everything better if you're positive than if you're negative. When you go into a bookstore, there's a lot of books about how to be positive, but there's really no books about how to be negative. And that's because we as humans are really good at being negative. We don't have to learn how to do that. Being positive takes effort and takes work. These are the values that we have in the wall in Blue Compass. And you can see the very first one up at the top is we are positive. Now, I think all of these are really important for us, but this is such an important value. You know, Reggie Jackson, the baseball great, struck out 2,600 times, with the most of any baseball player ever. Thomas Edison, the great inventor, he had 1,000 failed experiments, but no one seems to remember that. And no one remembers Reggie Jackson's strikeouts. They remember their successes. You will fall down, you will stumble, you will fail as you move forward in life from time to time. I do, and everyone does. But the really successful people pick themselves up, they learn from it, and they keep moving forward. And staying positive is such a big part of that. So if you're interested in starting your own business, if you're interested in succeeding in technology, just simply being positive is such a big part of it. Everything in your life will go better if you look at it positively. And last but not least is number 6, be a leader. Obviously, if you want to start a business, you need to be a leader. But whether you work at a business or whether you start one, being a leader is essential. Years ago, a few of my team members and I flew to New Orleans for a marketing conference. And when we got there, I was walking around on the conference. Years ago, a few of my team members and I went to a marketing conference in New Orleans. And once we got there, we were walking around on the conference floor, and I noticed that there were a number of vendors there. And one of the vendors had 3 employees in the booth talking to different people, trying to promote their services as they went by. And their boss was there as well, but seated next to them on their phone. And I walked by a little later, and there was the same thing. The 3 employees were working hard, but the boss was sitting there just on the phone. And once the conference was over, we all got on the plane and we're making our way through first class. And I looked, and there I saw that boss seated in first class. And as I made my way towards the back of the plane, those 3 employees were seated in literally the very last seats of that plane. That made a big impact on me. And that really taught me that bosses sit in front of the team and leaders sit with the team. I want to be a great leader who sits with the team, who takes on responsibilities with the team, and who's willing to do the same work as the team, instead of someone who just tells people what to do. As you move forward in life, try to find jobs where your boss or your manager is a leader, where they're kind to you, they want you to grow, and they're willing to do what it takes to make you better. That's a great person to work for. I love this illustration here. You can see the difference between a boss and a leader. Obviously, the leader is there with the team, willing to do the hard work as well. One of the things that I've learned in life is that your title does not make you a leader. Your actions make you a leader. You can be a leader right now, and businesses in Iowa need great leaders who are bold, who want to bring more technology opportunities to our state, and who want to grow great teams. So something that you can do, take a little more of the blame and a little less of the credit. That's what great leaders do. Great leaders take a little more of the blame and a little less of the credit. If you're interested in starting a business or being successful in a career of any sort, be a bold leader and be willing to take that blame when it comes and give the credit to other people. Great leaders allow other people to succeed. I hope those were some helpful insights to you. I wish you great success as you move forward in your career, and I really encourage you, get into technology. It's an exciting industry that's changing all the time. Iowa has a wonderful technology scene. There's a great startup community here in Iowa of new companies that are in technology, and there's a lot of wonderful, like I said, nice people who want you to succeed. Iowa's a great place for a business. If I can do it, you can certainly do it. That's not a question. All right, we now move into the exciting, highly anticipated Q&A section of our video today. And we have a few questions that have been submitted by young people like yourself. So the first question we have here is, what can I do now to prepare myself for a technology job? So that's a great question. I mentioned a few things, but obviously just being passionate about whatever type of technology industry you want to go into is really important. And focusing on subjects in school that you feel like are going to be essential in your role in this field would be very important too. So a lot of the times when we talk about technology, people think about like computer science, they think about math, they think about science, and those are often really important, but technology touches so many different industries and jobs that your emphasis at school doesn't have to be one of those things necessarily. So I really started out focusing on art, and I was always artistic, and I really loved graphic design and web design and things like that. So I started out more in the art space, and I moved into video, and eventually that kind of brought me to where I am here today. So you don't have to focus just on something like math all the time if that's not your interest. And then I would also say, don't just wait for school to teach you these things. So many people that I know who work in technology are self-taught. Like here at Blue Compass, almost all of our developers are self-taught. They didn't learn what they know now at school. They taught themselves, and they got into projects, they read books, and they took online classes or things like that, or watched videos. That's how they learned. So you don't have to wait for school. Learn these things on your own. Go to code.org, or if you're interested in digital marketing, go to YouTube and watch some videos on Facebook marketing or SEO or something like that. All right, question number 2 is, where can I get a good tech job? Also a great question. So you don't have to go to one specific technology business to get a job in tech. The good thing is, if you're interested in technology, it's pervasive. It's in pretty much every industry, pretty much every job you could possibly want. So most companies, whether they're small businesses or nonprofits or big corporations, have a IT department, or have network solutions, or a marketing department where maybe developers work, or graphic designers or digital marketers work. So most businesses have some form of good technology you could work in, but I think what's important is just identifying what the business's values are. Make sure the business is passionate about technology as you are. There's some businesses out there that use really antiquated technologies, and that might not be a good fit for you. I used to work at a video company, and they used some great video tech, but they had no interest in the web or digital, and so that really wasn't a good fit for me, and that's when I started Blue Compass. All right, question number 3 is, what are the best and worst parts of owning a business? The best part for me is building a great team. It's been really rewarding being able to hire good people who are more talented and smarter than I am, and watching them take over some of those roles that I used to do. It's amazing to see what our team members here can do. And we've assembled a really great team together. So just building that team, and then using that team to serve our clients and help their businesses and their organizations grow, that's the best part. The worst part, there's always ups and downs, I suppose, but there's challenges with keeping a great culture where people are always happy and productive. We do it really well now, but years ago it was harder. Meeting payroll, worrying about money, watching expenses, that sort of thing, that's not my favorite part of running a job. And there's legal things that you have to worry about too if you own a business. So if you start a business, there's so many hats you have to wear and so many things you have to do. Again, to me it's really rewarding once you can hire people to join your team to help you do that even better. All right, question number 4 here is, what are some of the technologies you work with at Blue Compass? I love working in like Google and Google's algorithms and watching how the search engine optimization changes. That's one of my favorite things. I love search engine optimization. It's very complex and difficult, but it's fun to keep up with it. We spend a lot of time in Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all kinds of different social media, and I really enjoy that aspect of it as well. And then, when it comes to web design and development, we work in technologies like .NET, like WordPress, HTML, CSS, different technologies like that. And so those are some of the ones we use. What's your favorite thing about working in the technology field? Just how often things change. As I said, how often things change is really interesting. And it can be difficult to keep up with it, but it's exciting. And just the innovation you see in technology, and particularly on social media, on Google, with smartphones, we love that sort of thing here. And we always love it when a new software, a new program, sometimes when a new web browser comes out. That's exciting for us. All right. What is the best way to get an internship at a good company? So I touched on this a little bit, but if you're really interested in getting your first job or an internship at a company, I think one of the first things to do is go follow them on social media. If you can make yourself known to the people there, to the managers, to the leaders, to the bosses, that's really helpful. So if you start to follow them on social media, if you like some of their posts, comment occasionally, try reaching out via email or phone or social media to someone there who hires, or a connection you have there, or one of the leaders, and ask if they want to go to coffee, ask if you could simply have a phone conversation with them. You need to build awareness for yourself, for your own personal brand. Make that company aware of you. And I think that's one of the best ways to get your foot in the door of a business. And then, take a look at their website, apply whenever they have an opening, and you can always just outright ask, hey, is there any chance I can come work for you and help you in an internship? If you offer to do so for free, sometimes that's a great way to get into a business, and sometimes a business will take advantage of that. And of course, you're not going to make a lot of money if you're working for free, but I've known a lot of people who have taken a risk like that and ultimately impressed the company with their great work ethic. So that's one of the ways you can get into a good business. Make yourself known, get your own personal brand out there, and try to make a splash with the companies you're interested in. Last but not least, what are the first steps to take in starting a business? The first step to take in starting a business, in my opinion, is getting your passion. Be passionate about whatever you want to do. When we started Blue Compass, we had a lot of things going against us. The economy wasn't great. We didn't have much of a business plan. We didn't have any funding or anything like that. But what we had going for us is we were really, really passionate. We really wanted to do it. And I never felt really any fear throughout the process, and it was just because I wanted to do it so bad. And so that taught me that when your passion is greater than your fear, you can really accomplish some incredible things. So passion is such an important ingredient when you want to start a business. And beyond that, just being really smart about a business plan. A good business person has a clear vision of the future. So project, what product or service are you going to sell? How are you going to produce this? Who's going to do what? What will your expenses be? Who's your target audience? What's your plan for the first 6 months? That sort of thing is really smart if you can actually plan like that. We didn't really do a great job of that at first, but planning and having a clear vision is important. So those are our questions. Hey, thanks again for joining me today. I hope you found some valuable information. And if I can ever be of help to you, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach out to me via email or just visit drewharden.com. And I'm always happy to give you a hand if I can. Thanks again.